Live.
You've been signed out of YouTube Studio.
Greetings. Hello, everyone. I'm extremely perturbed because the PC that I've just spent all morning rushing to get done in time for the customer to pick it up now has just suddenly decided to throw all of its toys out the pram. Literally, as the customer walked up and I was like, here's your PC, sir. I've got all the new parts fitted. I've done the Windows 11 update. It's all ready to go. And, the mouse doesn't seem to be working. Oh, that's a bit strange. Oh, the keyboard's not working. Okay. None of the USBs are working. Let's just restart it. Nope, still not working. Okay. Tries to go into safe mode, Windows recovery, still not working. Works in BIOS, doesn't work in Windows. Windows has clearly loaded some USB driver that is just completely broken. So I'm like, okay, system restore. System restores to 1:30 this afternoon, which is before I had installed all of the drivers. So now it needs all of its drivers installing again. And Windows looks like it might be pissed off because of the update. So I'm like, I'm very sorry, sir. I will give you a call on Tuesday when I'm back in. So that means that the PC that I've just broken my back to get done today has not been picked up. So yes. Yes, so I am... To say that I'm upset would be an understatement, but there's nothing I can do about it now. Here we are. Hello, everyone. Welcome back. We're here. Hello. All right. Yes, possibly going to be a shorter show today. I've got a hard out of 2 hours from now because I've got to drive up to see family because my sister's getting married tomorrow. So congratulations to my sister. I had completely forgotten until she called me this morning. Was just like, so it's my wedding tomorrow. You still coming? And I'm like, yes, I am. So, you need cider. Maybe. Okay, so anyway, there's a PS5. I'm gonna start taking this thing apart today because it needs a new HDMI port. So I was like, let's do a PS5. So yes.
Do it.
Do you even have a non-furry suit? Hey, I don't have a furry suit yet. I do have a non-furry suit, but also it's a smart cash wedding. So yeah, it's
Do you know what that means?
Well,
you still need to wear a suit.
No.
You just don't have to wear a tie.
I need to dress like you.
No.
I define that as smart cash. I mean, maybe some slightly nicer jeans, but
No.
just a shirt.
No. Graham, no. Please.
You and I have different definitions of smart cash.
Yeah, at least wear suit trousers, please.
Yeah, I will, because all of my other trousers are like cargo pants kind of thing.
Oh, thank God for that.
Yeah, no, I'm not going to rock up in cargo pants.
I thought that's what you were going to do, just put on a dress shirt and...
No, cargo pants are not smart cash. I'm not that much of a buffoon.
Good.
Yeah. So yes.
Just turn up in branded merch.
Stevie says smart casual to me means slippers and pajamas. What part? What? How is any of that smart? That's not even casual. That's wine mom at Tesco at 9 in the morning on a Sunday. All right.
Speaking of which, buy merch in the store.
Yes. I was going to start working on new merch this weekend, but it's another weekend where I'm not going to be at home. Okay, it's fine.
Take apart a PS5, it'll make you feel better.
It won't, because I don't have the Proxon toolkit with me, so I'm going to have to use the wearers. And the wearers are great screwdrivers, but these screws are tight, and I need the big handle boys, so this is going to be hard work. But we'll get there. Anyway.
Womp.
Yes. So yes, I've done a deliberately incendiary stream title today. So Caradog and I can give everyone a solid dressing down who is still being like, I'm going to stay on Windows 10 forever. Talking to you, Doomer. Electric screwdriver, absolutely not. Electric screwdriver would have absolutely no chance with PS5.
No, just the drill.
You just drill the screws out, horrendous.
And a blowtorch.
That bit's right. I can never remember if the side panels go up or down, so excuse me while I struggle for a sec. It's down, okay. You have to judo chop them.
Excuse me whilst I struggle. Bang!
Yeah, well, you press one...
I'm no longer struggling.
Yep, you go, put it on your lap, press one side out, and judo chop. There we go.
I see.
Cool. Right, I guess we'll do the bench cam as a special treat. So people can watch me take a thing apart. Activated the year of free updates. It's October 26 problem now. Kicking the can down the road. Windows 10 is dead. 11 isn't going anywhere. 12 won't be any different to 11.
It doesn't work.
Yeah. Select something else and then select Insta360.
I just did.
Deactivate, reactivate.
It's presently not functioning.
I will.
Please may you unplug it and replug it. Wake up!
Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up.
Help!
It's looking somewhere over there now. Oh, it's because that has picked it up. That's why it wasn't working. You need to switch off the preview on that.
There we go.
So turn off preview on bottom left. Yeah, there we go. That's why OBS wasn't picking it up. Is the Link software was stealing it. Now, yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay, and then rotate the source 180 degrees. Okay, there we go. Cool. All right.
There we go.
It is actually pretty clean, this console, yeah. The liquid metal is going to be everywhere because it's been upright, but yeah.
Get over here. You swine.
Did your FPS went up or down transferring to Windows 11? I didn't notice a difference. Theoretically...
I think mine went up.
Yeah, I was going to say theoretically 11 is faster. Because,
but I also know that some games are slower on 11.
Yeah. Theoretically 11 is faster. However, it does vary on game, and also the based on Hardware Unboxed have done a couple of tests for this. Their initial test showed that 11 was on average faster, but then their most recent testing has showed that speed improvement seems to have just gone away somewhere. So maybe there's some new bloat in 11 somewhere that has offset it somehow. Who knows? However, 10 isn't going to get any faster at any point, whereas 11 will continue to get optimizations. So even if it stays the same, you're certainly not going to lose speed going into 11. So, yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say it's also just kind of a case of...
Lead Farmer, it's not a BIOS issue because it works in BIOS. And yes, it's on the latest. It's a Windows driver issue. Windows has installed a bad driver. So, yeah. But anyway, sorry, carry
on. Just a case of obviously the fact of we're probably going to start seeing games, certainly live service stuff, pushing basically you're not on Windows 11, therefore the game won't launch. Womp womp.
Maybe, but like, what would the mechanism for that be? Because like they can ask for secure boot, and also it looks like memory integrity is going. So on VR chat, Easy Anti-Cheat now wants memory integrity and secure boot. So it looks like Easy Anti-Cheat is about to roll out secure boot and memory integrity are required for games now.
Yeah.
But then you can run memory integrity on Windows 10 and secure boot on Windows 10 anyway, so that doesn't actually move the goalposts at all.
No, but it's also the case of they can just go, we've detected it's not Windows 11. Womp womp.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I would say I can't see them doing that, but to be honest, I could actually, yeah. Oh no, now I remember why I needed the Proxon kit. It's because they're security screws. Okay, time to butcher it. Oh, this might be a real short adventure, but we'll see. One of those, and
I'm really concerned to open this message. JD has sent me a message and its title is A War Crime.
I see. Right.
I was like, uh-oh.
Luckily, my mangled flathead can open these security Torx screws. That one's just Phillips, so that's fine.
Philip?
Yeah, when I say butcher it, when you try and open security Torx bits like this, so the security Torx screw, you can see it's got a dot in the middle there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. If you jam a flathead into that, you can usually get enough purchase to open the screw. However, very regularly you'll just snap off the dot in the middle, in which case it just becomes a regular Torx screw. So you butcher the screw, but also not really, because then you can just get a normal screw, a normal Torx screw into it. So yeah, it's semi crimes.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, that one just snapped off, so you can see the center bit is just snapped off on that, so now I can actually just put a regular Torx screw into that and it's fine.
Yeah.
It doesn't strip the head, we're just snapping the center post off. That's another one gone.
It's super secure.
Is that the cover for the SSD? Why security screw? The actual SSD is just a Phillips screw.
Yeah, it's getting
everything else.
It's getting inside the
Yeah.
actual console that has anything different.
Yeah.
And I can understand using two types of screws on there, so you can very easily go to the consumer. This screw, undo these screws.
Yeah,
Ta-da.
it's actually one of the nice things about the PlayStation is they've always had easy upgradable storage, and the storage is always held in with this screw. So it's a Phillips screw, and it's got the little PlayStation, what do they call it? The glyphs or the emblems or whatever?
I'd go with glyphs.
Yeah, the PlayStation glyphs are on it. So like, it's a very identifiable screw, which yeah, I quite like. So yeah. I'd say that Xbox could learn a thing or two, but womp womp, you know. Have you been keeping up with the Xbox news at all?
Not really.
By the sounds of things, Xbox is just mega cooked. Like, just turbo cooked. Like, brick and mortar retail, like, you know, big box brick and mortar is pulling Xbox off of the shelves because it's just none of it is selling. They have increased the cost of the Series X again. So, like,
Yes.
no one's buying it because it's only going up in price for a console that is nearing end of life.
So what you're saying is it's an investment opportunity. 'Cause the line is just going to go up.
All of the game, you know, there's no interesting exclusives coming out. Game Pass has just been jacked up in price. And the current rumors for the next generation Xbox is that it's going to be more powerful than the PS6, but in a way that's just going to make it even more expensive. And it's just like, my guy, people aren't buying the Xbox as it is. Why are you making an even more expensive version of it? And like, once again, Microsoft are trying to make this the console that does everything thing, the center of your living room. And it's like, Microsoft, you've been banging on this drum since the 360. It's never worked. This is why Sony keeps winning, because the Xbox has an identity crisis, because you're trying to make it like this home entertainment system, whereas the PlayStation is a games console. That's all the PlayStation has ever claimed to be, a games console. It has no other illusions of trying to be anything but just a games console. And Microsoft are still trying to make the Xbox something that it just isn't. And it's like, yeah, and this time round, I don't think they're going to get away with it this time. I think they've actually screwed the pooch this time. And I think if they do get the next-gen Xbox out the door, I think it's dead in the water. Not that I care, but it's just kind of a shame, because it will be the fall of an institution. And of course, let's face it, the Switch is not a PlayStation competitor.
Yeah, they are very different categories.
Yeah, and it's a case of like PlayStation losing its only competitor is not a good thing,
Yeah.
PS3 was also a Blu-ray video player. Yeah, but that's not what it was sold as. I mean, it's what a lot of people bought it for, but that's never ever what it was sold as. It was never. It never pretended to be the center of your living room, the only box that would be connected to your TV, that would do your games, your movies, your home automation. These are all things that Xbox has aspired to be. Like, remember when the Xbox One came out and they wanted to make the Kinect mandatory, so you could do all of the voice commands and all of that stuff,
Oh yeah, for the 360.
Yeah, exactly. So again, that was Microsoft just banging on this drum, and they've learned nothing.
Yeah.
It's astonishing how they've learned nothing.
Yeah. I certainly think the benefit the PlayStation 3 had, to talk about Blu-ray players, was that certainly at launch, it was a case that you could buy a PlayStation 3 for less money than it cost to buy a standalone Blu-ray player.
Oh, real?
So you could buy, even if you didn't care about playing video games, a PlayStation 3, the Sony Blu-ray player.
Really clean.
For less money than a standalone Blu-ray player.
Yeah.
So you might as well buy the PlayStation 3. And now suddenly you've got this games console?
Yeah.
What do games consoles do? Oh, they play video games. Well, I already own this console thing. Let's try one of these video games. Oh, I enjoy these video games. I guess Sony make video games things. I'll only buy Sony video games things now.
Yeah.
It was an excellent Trojan horse on that front.
I don't think it was deliberate.
No. I don't think it was deliberate, but it was excellent.
It worked.
On that front.
It played out very well for them. Yeah.
Yeah.
Go. There's our optical drive. Rare disc version. Okay. Right, now comes the nightmare
What's
bit.
rare about the disc?
I just usually see the digital ones.
Oh, I see. Sorry, I thought that disc drive was rare.
No.
Right. I misunderstood. Yes.
Yeah.
BS.
Ba, 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 ba.
I'm interested in the rumors.
This PS5 is in for a HDMI port replacement, just for clarity. It's not super damaged, but if you can see, the bottom of the port is a little bit bowed out, and it's just not getting good connections anymore. Very minor case, but it's just enough to stop it working properly. Carry on, the rumours.
About the new Xbox. Apparently the new Xbox will use the same graphics die as AMD's desktop graphics cards. So the graphics die will be interchangeable between the Xbox and dedicated graphics cards. Apparently.
Yeah.
So if that is true, it means that even if the silicon cost of the Xbox Next is more expensive, the sheer volume of it might make it competitive.
Yeah.
Just because the actual silicon cost, based again on the rumours, is only different by a few percent.
Yeah.
So it's a case of if it's only a few percent, that silicon cost could quite possibly get eaten up in volume.
Maybe that's their plan. Maybe that's how they're going to keep the cost of this more powerful Xbox down, because, you know, like they have to be price competitive with even if they're more powerful than PlayStation, they have to have price parity, otherwise they're dead. Because
I
the
would
average,
contend they have to be cheaper.
yeah, that's being generous, yeah, to say price parity. I agree with you. Oh, that one's fighting me a bit. Come on. Oh, come on. No, okay. Have I mangled that enough to get onto it? Come on. It moved.
Yeah. I wonder if they'll come out and call it like the Xbox 5 or something, just to be really confusing.
Who knows?
No, just launch it as the Xbox 6,
There we go.
matching the PlayStation 6.
Yeah. But yeah, that's just, either way though. Yeah, they have to be price parity or cheaper, or they're dead. And if they're going to have something that is going to be, you know, reasonably more powerful than a PlayStation 6, they're going to struggle big time to keep that cost down. And where are they going to, if they have to subsidize the cost of the hardware, where are they going to make that money back? Exclusives? They don't have any. Game Pass? It's already not working because they've had to double the price of it. You know, and Call of Duty coming out and not pulling people into Game Pass has proven that, you know, day one access through Game Pass for games is not cost effective for Microsoft. Their strategy was a bold one, but it's just not working.
The thing I don't understand from my perspective, and I wonder if this is a uniquely Microsoft problem, because they got slapped so hard with all of the antitrusts in the 90s, they're just scared of actually being competitive.
Maybe,
in a way, and it's kind of a case of, because obviously from my position, the play that they can make is they have more money than Sony in the bank. They have more turnover than Sony. They have more markets than Sony.
Yeah.
So they can just burn Sony into the ground.
Yeah.
They can operate at a massive loss for like 10 years.
The problem is they have been operating at a massive loss for 10 years.
Yeah, but actually in the anti-competitive fashion. So all of the games don't release on PlayStation from 50% of game publishers. Suddenly just gone from the Sony devices. Only available by signing up to Game Pass.
Yeah.
All of that, just burn it all. Oh, we're the only game in town. Guess you're giving us all of your money. I'm shocked that didn't seem to actually be more strongly armed into all of it, because that's, to me, the only way it would have worked. Because if you're giving people a choice between buying your thing that's more expensive or the thing they already have that's also cheaper, they're going to pick the thing they already have that's cheaper.
Yeah, it does seem utterly, it is wild that they have been unable to capitalize on the fact that Sony themselves are having an awful time. You know, the PlayStation hasn't had any significant exclusives in a while. There was obviously, you know, there was the Concord fiasco, and just PlayStation themselves just don't have anything going for them. Yeah.
Unless they can give developers actual money, why risk going on just one console? Because Microsoft owns the developer and says, you're releasing it on this.
Yeah.
Or you're all fired.
That's it.
You know, they release it on that because that's what their job is.
Microsoft have been buying up game studios and publishers like no one else's business the past couple of years.
Yeah.
But the problem is all of them are imploding or have just achieved nothing.
Yeah.
And Microsoft seems to have just been like, okay. Instead of turning around to them and being like, what the hell, we paid 50 million for you guys. What are we paying you for?
Yeah.
Get something out the door, you know.
And also then by the flip side, in the complete counter, what was I've forgotten what the rhythm game was. the rhythm fighting game.
Yes.
That one.
Something funk.
Where it was basically a case
Yeah.
of that game was effectively an indie release.
Yes.
Tiny development cost, apparently sold really well, made massive profits. Oh, and we're shutting you down and firing you all.
Yes.
Huh?
Yeah.
You have one successful game release this year, and you fire everyone involved in the successful game release.
Yeah. I don't know what I don't know how that they fumbled that one somehow because
Hi-Fi Rush.
Hi-Fi Rush, that
There
was
we
the
go.
one. Yep. I was thinking of Cyberfunk Bomb Rush or something like that, which is similar, but yeah, Hi-Fi Rush.
Cyberfunk Bomb Rush.
Someone help me out.
Is
here.
that a game?
Yeah, someone help me. What is the game I'm trying to think of? There's something with Cyberfunk or something in the name. But yeah, Hi-Fi Rush, yeah, that was led by a Japanese developer who basically just didn't get on with Microsoft and just saw the writing on the wall and left. And with him gone, the studio was kind of dead in the water because he was the creative lead. But
Yeah.
again, Microsoft seemed to just fail to do anything in that situation. Instead of like regrouping and being like, cool, let's find someone else to get this back on the road. You guys all still made the game. You guys know what you're doing. I'm sure we can turn this around. Or they could have spoken to the guy and been like, what's the problem? How can we make this right? How can we get you back to work in a way that's satisfactory, you know? We'll leave you alone. Just tell us what you need, you know?
Yeah.
They obviously just fumbled the ball entirely there.
Yeah.
And again, just fumble seems to be the term here, is just, you know, all of the releases that have failed or been cancelled have just seemed to be fumbles when instead of actually trying to fix the problem, Microsoft have kind of just shrugged and gone, oh, well, on to the next thing. I'm like, you can't keep doing that forever, you know? So, yeah.
I enjoyed the idea of now someone Cyberpunk, the CD Projekt Red game, being remade as an 80s disco dance-off game called Cyberfunk.
Come on, up you come. Oop. There we go. Right, backplate. Yes. So regarding the title of today's stream with Windows Windows 11 update, I titled it that just simply because obviously Windows 10 died this week. Even if you've got the extended.
For all intensive purposes.
Yeah, even if you got the extended support, whatever, it's still dead. And yes, everyone has left it to the last minute and it's just like, oh, and I'm like, this was coming for a long time. Why didn't you do anything? So I kind of just wanted to, I wanted to have another fresh little back and forth of what's holding people up on Windows 11, because I'm writing a script for a Windows 11, why Windows 11 is the way it is video. And I'm just curious to gather more information on what people are stuck on with Windows 11. Some of
still
it
connected.
Oh yeah, because some of it is legitimate. You know, there are. Don't get me wrong, because basically, in the intro to the video, this is really clean. This console.
Used twice.
Yeah. In the intro to the video, my thesis statement is, you're right to be annoyed with Microsoft because there are lots of reasons to be annoyed with Microsoft right now. However, you're probably annoyed with them for the wrong reasons, because so many people are annoyed with Windows 11 because it's making them turn on Secure Boot. And it's like, that's not a good reason to be annoyed at Windows 11. You should be on Secure Boot anyway, you know. So this is kind of what I wanted to so this is kind of where I was going with all of this. And I wanted to get some extra opinions as just stuff to address in the video, basically.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, back cover. We're nearly down to the motherboard now.
Yeah. I think some of it is I feel like some of it is misguided.
Yes.
To a degree. certainly a case of like the comment with like data scraping or telemetry and so on. It's just a case of a fact of, at least from the operating system itself, as far as we can tell, it's exactly the same telemetry that Windows 10 had. So from that perspective, I don't think there's actually been a meaningful difference.
That's it. And like,
however, that doesn't mean that the Microsoft Store apps that are installed by default aren't doing more data gathering than Windows 10 versions were. I've no idea. I've not seen any commentary one way or the other on that. But it's just a case of, I think part of that is slightly misguided on that front.
yeah.
And I don't say that from the perspective of being concerned about data collection is wrong, but just a case of,
we also
it's a difficult one because you need to argue accurately on that to avoid being hand waved away because of inaccuracy.
Yeah, it's also a difficult one because we have to sort of decide, well, when is telemetry actually a bad thing, you know, because...
and kind of in the same token of assuming that the data is the same, why does nobody seem to care about Apple having telemetry?
Yeah.
Why does nobody seem to care about Android having telemetry?
Yeah, and also like a lot of the telemetry, this isn't the device spying on you personally. This isn't the device telling Microsoft that you specifically have been doing XYZ on your PC. It's a very broad scope behavioral analysis that says people are using their PCs for XYZ. You know, that kind of thing.
I mean, it's also just kind of crash log collation. It's saying, this program is crashing.
Crashed. And again, this is a very muddy topic because at the same time, we've got, you know, obviously Copilot is being shoved into everything. It was shoved into Windows 10 as well. So being on Windows 10 doesn't keep you safe from Copilot. And like last night I was talking to people and someone was like, oh, well, I've disabled Copilot in Windows 10. I'm like, cool, you can disable it in Windows 11 as well. But again, this is where the criticism against Microsoft is legitimate, the fact that they're pushing Copilot into everything. But again, that's nothing to do with Windows 11 per se. This is just the direction that Microsoft is moving in. And not upgrading to 11 doesn't defend you against them pushing Copilot into all of their products. If you want to run Microsoft Office on Windows 10, it's going to have Copilot in it, unless you want to run an old version. So this is the thing, is just it's a matter of, and like we're talking about a very pedantic kind of argument here, but I believe that the shades of grey are actually very important here to distinguish.
Yes, also because it's a case of, not because, certainly at least I think to speak for you from the position of the fact of, you're not saying that things shouldn't be complained about and improved, but it's a case of make sure that what you are complaining about is actually the right thing, so it's not just hand waved away.
Yeah.
Because if you're complaining about, oh, the telemetry, I'm staying on Windows 10, and then someone replies with, yeah, but Windows 10 has the same telemetry, your argument's kind of hand waved away because you're happy to accept it when it's called 10, but you're not happy when it's called 11. So what if I call it 7 or Jack? Are you now happy with the telemetry because it's called Jack and not 11?
Yeah.
You know, it's kind of, it sounds like a semantic, but it's kind of that point.
Yeah. And this is the thing, like Jason Budney there says, exactly, it's not 10 versus 11, it's Microsoft's direction that is making people unhappy. And I think this is it. This is the big thing that I want people to understand, is that 11 is not the problem. It's Microsoft's direction as a company that is the issue, but you're blaming it on 11, not Microsoft in general. And so therefore, stubbornly refusing to upgrade to 11 doesn't solve your problem. It just means that you're now expending energy to stay on Windows 10, when the same amount of energy could be spent customizing 11 to match your needs and or tastes, and then you don't have to dance around system requirements. So this is the kind of argument that I actually want to make,
Yeah. And also a case of obviously the fact of staying on 10 doesn't change anything.
Yeah.
The only thing that
recall is only on Copilot. I need to add that into my notes because recall is something that I meant to mention. Sorry, carry on.
Staying on 10 doesn't change anything particularly because it's still a Microsoft operating system. The play against the direction that Microsoft is moving in is to stop using a Microsoft operating system.
Yes.
Which unfortunately means buying a Mac, moving to Linux.
Yeah.
But it is a case of ultimately staying on 10 is not the answer. The answer is moving off of Microsoft products.
Yes.
Moving off of Microsoft services. Stopping using Outlook as your email provider.
Yeah.
Not paying for Office 365.
Yeah.
That's ultimately the actual play.
Yeah. And like, this was another response I got last night when I was talking to people, because again I was in a tech savvy environment, so I was sort of saying to people, when people were just like, I don't like 11, I was like, what's your beef with 11? Like, tell me. And yes, and and I said, like, what are you going to do? Move to Linux? And I said, I don't mean that facetiously. Linux is in the best place it's ever have been. And while that's not, I think it's naive to think that Linux will be a problem-free experience. However, if you're willing to endure, if you're willing to expend some energy in what you're doing, so whether that's expending some energy in staying on Windows 10, expending some energy on doing the upgrade to 11, or expending energy on getting accustomed to Linux, going to Linux becomes a valid option there. Because again, at that point you're saying, you know what, I don't like the direction Microsoft is going in, so I'm going to Linux. That is 100% a valid answer right now, I think.
But it's also the case of, just kind of a case of, because of how big Microsoft are, Google are, Apple are, you have to also move your email provider, your text document editor, and so on. So it's just kind of a case of, yes, it is a large undertaking because you have to change so many steps.
Yeah.
But it's kind of a case of that's the only way, at least I see it, to really change the direction.
Yeah, grabbing multimeter. Yeah.
Because it's everything. It's not just one core part. And it's also the case of the fact of Windows is effectively free for home users.
Yeah.
And has been since 2015.
Yes, this is another thing which isn't an argument to capitulate to everything Microsoft is asking for, but something that I do wish more people would understand. 3.08, I'll change it because I can. No, 3.08, that's close. I'll change it because I can. It's a pain in the ass to get to the BIOS battery, so we'll just do it while we're here. Like this is another thing that does continue to bother me is just people feel a general entitlement to products that they are not paying for. And I'm like, if you don't want to be the product, then you need to pay for the product, or go to Linux or whatever. I think that I don't actually think Microsoft ask for a whole lot from their users. Like people complain about, like people were complaining about this in Windows 10. They were like, sort of, oh, it shoves adverts in your face. I'm like, there's a couple of suggested apps and 1 or 2 pop-ups, all of which can be turned off by like 2 or 3 settings.
Yeah.
That's really not a whole lot for a system that you functionally don't have to pay for.
Yeah.
And while I'm not saying that you should give up all of your personal data to Microsoft and such, Microsoft, Windows is probably the least egregious example of where you're giving up your personal data. Replo says, I paid for 10, I've paid for all the previous versions of Windows. Yeah, I mean, I guess if you have actually paid for a license and entered in the license, then no, you shouldn't see any suggestions or anything like that. However, also again, they're so few that I don't think I do not think the crime is enough to warrant the response it gets, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, man. And again, I'm not coming in defense of Microsoft per se, but again, I think I guess where I'm going with all of this is just like, is all of this so agonizing to you that you're willing to ignore the new version of Windows and go through the annoyance of paying for extended support for the old version of Windows, or running the long-term support version, which, you know, is going to have some missing features, or, you know, you've got to tinker with, like, for example, if you're running LTSC and you want to use Microsoft game services, like you want to use the Microsoft Store because you want to play Sea of Thieves or something like that, you know, you're going to have to install all of that stuff again, you know. And so it's a case of, it's there, but the effort, this is what I mean by expending effort. Like, you're willing to do all of that, but you're not willing to turn off a couple of settings that switch off the suggested apps. You're willing to go through all the effort of getting this enterprise version of Windows, but you're not willing to just switch off the suggested notification or just uninstall the free game that came with it, you know. I think that's where I take exception. I find it very strange I find it very strange that people have picked this specific hill to die on, kind of thing.
Yeah.
So yeah. But yeah, at some point I do want to do a Linux challenge. I want to see what that actually looks like, because, you know, yeah. But we'll see. We'll see. Bold says, my Windows 11 beef. Taskbar. Lack of customization of it and behavior and multi-screen setup. Okay, so what specifically? Because you can align it left and right now. You can't move it around the screen. I'll concede that point. Is there a third-party app that does that? I don't think there is there?
Yeah. I don't know. I've not specifically looked.
Yeah,
but yeah.
So yeah, the taskbar, the only customization that I'm aware of that is currently missing is you can't physically move the taskbar to another side of the screen, and you cannot have it show all system tray icons. You have to turn them all on manually.
You also can't only have the system tray on your secondary display.
Yes, it has to be on the primary display, doesn't it?
It has to be on the primary display and secondary, or only on the primary.
Yeah, and I'm not convinced that that's a big deal, because if you want it to be on your other monitor, then just make your other monitor the primary display, because that functionally doesn't matter, because apps will open on the last screen they were used on anyway, I think.
Other than most games.
Yeah, no, you're right. Games do default to primary, don't they?
Yeah. And also all of the like notification boxes and stuff from Windows and so on will open on the primary display.
Yeah, no, you're right. That's not
so
that's
it's just
not
a
viable.
case of it's annoying from that perspective.
Yeah, but
it's not like it's
even still, like, this is still just so yeah, and like you know what? When I need to access the system tray while I've got a game open or something, I tap the Windows key and the system tray is there in the bottom right. And like, so it's just like that change of behavior. That is expending some energy, but it's not a lot of energy. It's just not a lot of energy. Again, I'm just like, is that the hill you're willing to die on? It's kind of what I mean, you know. No small icons mode?
There is, but I don't know how small they are.
Yeah.
Yeah, because if you go to taskbar settings, taskbar behaviors, show smaller taskbar buttons, always.
Yeah, however, it doesn't make the taskbar actually lower. That's the difference there.
Yeah.
So, okay, you've lost 10 pixels.
Yeah, it's certainly annoying how chunky it is.
Yeah.
By comparison to how small it was on
how small
7
it could
and
be. But
yeah.
Again, like, I guess that's an issue if you're at 1080p, but if you're at 1440p or higher, okay.
It might be effectively an artifact of assuming that everything's high-res laptops.
Yeah, like
again, that's what the majority of devices using Windows are laptops as well. So it's kind of a case of it's kind of that.
Yeah, I just don't see this as a big deal. You know, again, like Pete says, they forced the taskbar to be too high and you can't make it narrow anymore. It's just like, you're losing a handful of pixels here. You know, I don't see that as enough of a reason to shun an entire operating system. You know, icon size is killing 13.3-inch laptops. I mean, sure, if you're running them at 150% scaling, but if you're running 150% scaling, then like you're losing massive screen real estate there anyway. As soon as you set them to like 125% scaling, I don't see it being an issue. Or you could even go to 100% scaling if you wanted, and then just make the text size slightly bigger.
Yeah.
You know. So yeah. So this is the thing. It's just like, I see what you're saying. I don't understand why that is such. I personally can't understand that being a showstopper. You know. But yeah. Hey, Mr. Streamer, guys in chat, managed to get a 9060 XT 16 gig to replace your 6600 for about $20 over MSRP. Nice. That will work out very nicely. I'm a team left. I like my taskbar to be left aligned personally. Center aligned feels weird. I think it's, yeah. I don't know why, and like that kind of bothers me because based on my disposition, especially in this conversation, I would rather get accustomed to the new standard, which is to have it center aligned. But I just think that, yeah, left aligned just seems to make sense to me. But I couldn't tell you why. But that's such an easy personal preference to set that it's kind of not a problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I leave it center because I haven't changed it.
Fair.
Ultimately, is the answer to that.
Yeah, center alignment is nice for ultra wides and stuff. I think that's why center alignment exists. It kind of makes sense, but I think I'm just so muscle memoried in to the bottom left for the start menu, and like, you know, considering macOS's dock is center aligned, it seems strange that I cannot get used to that. But also for the same reason, I have a couple of weird tics like that. Like on a Windows laptop, I always tap the trackpad for left click. I tap rather than click. On Macs, I hate tapping. Always want a physical click on a Mac. I do not know why, but on a Mac, if it doesn't physically click, I do not use tapping. I want it to click. Couldn't tell you why. But also, like, if they took that out tomorrow and said, yeah, we don't do physical clicking anymore, it's now just taps and gestures, I'd be like, okay. Because, like, is that really the hill I'm going to die on? No, of course not. You know, learn to swim, man. You know, learn to swim. So, yeah. Okay. Fair. Right, I'm going to take this board over to the other bench and take the HDMI port off of it. So yes, we have had some pump out on the liquid metal. Got a nice dry spot in the center there, so that's cool. Right.
Free food. Enjoy your free food.
Free food? Delightful. Enjoy. Been using macOS more lately? Yeah. I think about Mac, I think...
The thing about macOS that still bewilders me is the fact that you cannot multitask very efficiently on it. That still blows my mind. Or the fact of they seem to intentionally make the features anti-multitasking.
Yeah.
Like full screening is...
macOS still hates multitasking. They've got mock multitasking. You can still do a split screen, but getting apps into split screen is such a god-awful process. Something Jobs would be spinning in his grave, you know.
Whee!
Oops, sorry, I was still aligning the scope. I need my heat-proof mat. Right, and can we go a bit higher? I normally wouldn't do this under the microscope, but I don't. The YouTube rig over here isn't turned on at the moment because I'm reinstalling Windows on it again. Because I'm trying to fix the weird recording issue that I have. Okay, that should do. Okay.
4,000 degrees.
Yeah, time to burn this sucker off. I'm going to put some fresh solder on it first because I find that helps a lot.
Do you do it from the top or the bottom?
I do it from the top. It just seems to work better for me. I think it's I understand both arguments. I think if I had a 1,000-watt hot air station, the bottom method would work better. However, my quick 8570W Plus is 650 watts, and it's kind of only just got enough grunt for this kind of work, and I seem to just get better results from the top.
How English? I can speak the good England.
Yes.
When you go up in wattage on a hot air station, does it? How do you get more? What are you getting more watts of? I know it's heat and energy usage, but the output of the device, what are you getting more of?
So the higher wattage stations generally flow more air, so you have more cubic feet per minute of air coming out the nozzle. So you've got more air at the same temperature is more heat energy hitting the board.
But if you're pushing more air, does that not just mean you're blowing more stuff away?
It could be.
So if I had the same airflow between a 650 watt and a 1,000 watt,
yeah,
they have the same heat. They have the same part removing ability.
Theoretically, yes. This is on assumption that they are both effective and they are both outputting their maximum at their maximum airflow. Like, for example, I don't know if I have mine at maximum airflow. I'm not sure if the airflow is having any kind of cooling effect on the heating element, if you see what I mean. I assume that the heating element can keep up with the air pump at full tilt, but I'm not actually sure.
Yes.
On a cheap hot air station, I would say no. On my quick, I would say it should be able to. But
Yeah, so it's purely doing it by having more air volume.
Yes.
And
that's my belief anyway. Someone in the chat might be able to correct me if I'm wrong.
I see. So in theory, you can use a larger nozzle and therefore have lower air pressure and therefore blow things less away, just because there's more volume moved.
Yeah.
That's how you avoid the blowing stuff away problem.
Yeah.
Because you just have a bigger column, so lower pressure, but more heat.
Yeah.
Because there's more hot air.
I think that's reasonable to say, yes.
Okay. So I was thinking about that. I was like, I understand how an iron that's physically in contact can have a higher wattage.
Right.
And obviously how that would work, because you're supplying more heating power directly to the plane to get to that temperature.
Yeah.
And you can supply more heating power without changing the temperature. But it's like with the airflow, you're either throwing more air out, which blows stuff away, or you're making it hotter, which burns stuff. And it's just like,
Right. We're melting the connector slightly, but we're removing this one, so I don't care.
I don't know why, but under the microscope, that HDMI connector looks really small to me. My sense of scale on this monitor.
That's my little finger.
Yeah, for some reason it just looks ridiculously small. Like, my perspective is broken. Help.
Yeah. Normally when I record this on video, I would do it under the camera instead of the microscope, because the microscope is just a bit too close for this, in my opinion. But yeah, as I say, it just means that you guys can see something.
Yeah. Are you still using... Wait, which scope are you using? Are you using
This is the Tomlov 4K.
Yeah. And that's the most recently acquired one, isn't
Yes,
it?
which I didn't do the video. I must put out a video about this scope, because in all fairness, I've gotten on very well with it.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm going to burn a hole in my mouse mat now. That's fine. It might catch fire. We'll keep an eye out for that.
Help me, my HDMI port is on fire.
Right. Right, that's fine. I'm just going to...
It's fine.
I'm just going to retouch all of the solder on those pads.
Yes. Dave's unbranded. I tried different ways to do this with lower power common items. I failed miserably. Yes, I can imagine.
Yeah, if you're doing current gen consoles like a PS5 or an Xbox Series, you are going to need good tools. This, like, my tool, so like...
My tool?
Yeah, well, when the Pine Sol soldering iron doesn't have the grunt to deal with these circuit boards. It needs assistive hot air to be able to do anything at all.
And
that's a 65 to 80 watt.
Yeah.
The Aixon that I use at the moment is 90 watts, but also it's also 90 watts, but with JBC tips, which makes a big difference. Big difference. If you buy an Aixon power, if you get the Aixon soldering stations, buy genuine JBC tips. They will change your world. Take it from me. I love cheap tools. I don't like buying expensive tools just because people, like, you know, when people are just like, oh, you got to get a JBC or a Weller. I'm just like, yeah, no fear, mate. I'm going to find the cheap version, you know. JBC tips worth every penny. Every penny.
Aren't they also actually not that expensive?
They're about 50 quid.
Yeah.
And for soldering iron for professional soldering iron tips, and this is the point where I do my professional versus hobby grade stuff rant. For professional grade tips, worth every penny. I should go back and put that port on while the board is hot, but I'm talking now. But yeah, so yes, then hot air station, my Quick 857 DW Plus there, that's a quick station, so it's good. But at 650 watts, it's only just got the grunt. PS5s it's okay with. Xbox Series X, Xbox Series X is a nightmare, absolute nightmare. It can do it, but it's horrendous. You're sitting there for about 5 minutes, 10 minutes, blowing away at this HDMI port going, please come off, please come off. It's not moving. Oh my God, I'm cooking this board and it's not moving. Oh my God, please come off.
Have you considered a hot plate?
Hot plate won't fix this because you can't, the board is too lumpy, there's too much stuff on it, so you can't get contact. So what I need is a 1,000 watt hot air station. And that then just throws down enough raw heat to just boil things off the board. So yeah. So yes. You own an Atom, but you did it with the cheapest one. Yeah, Atom make cheap stations as well as good stations.
Do they make blower and handle ones?
I think they've got a couple of blower and handle ones, yeah. Any hot air station where the blower is a little fan in the handle, no. Instant no-no. Instant no-no. Using the 245 tips. No, I've got the little one. One of my tips, they are... I use the C210 cartridge. Because you can get smaller tips for them, and I get on with those better, and I find it still has enough power. Like you saw me go onto that PS5 there, initially it struggled a little bit and then it got heat into the board, no problem. So yeah. Water bottle seems to be missing a logo. Yeah, maybe. That's a thought. I have some ideas for. I've got some basic designs for merch in the works.
You could 3D print a little jacket for it and make it branded.
I just get a sticker, but yeah, you just get a sticker. Right. Have I thought of using the hot air bidet like Paul Daniels? I have. I do want to make the hot air bidet. Caradog and I were joking about this before stream, and it's very funny because it's very close to bidet in Australian as well. So you could be like bidet, but yeah. Okay. Right. What CPU series have got liquid metal over the die? Intel 13th gen. I think all the modern CPUs are soldered these days. Liquid metal and soldered aren't the same thing. Liquid metal is only in use on some gaming laptops and some mini PCs. What you're thinking of is the interface between the CPU die and the integrated heat spreader on a CPU. And on modern CPUs, they use solder, not liquid metal for that.
Indium.
Indium.
Yes. Yeah. Indium something.
Yeah, which solidifies, doesn't it?
Functionally, yeah.
So that is to say,
it becomes some sort of amorphous.
Yeah.
But it's effectively solid, and
dear
God, please heat your CPUs massively if you ever attempt to delete them.
Yeah. The important thing is that it can't pump out like like gallium liquid metal can.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I've
had all 4 of these ports done already. I'm waffling. I'm going back.
I am surprised by how little gasket there is on the PlayStation 5.
Gasket? Yeah, real.
It seems like a ghastly oversight.
These are my
Squint
HDMI ports.
suspiciously at chat. What do you want?
These are all Xbox ports. Are those PS5
Countdown
ports?
to talking about bottoms. I don't know, Dave. Why are we talking about bottoms?
Right, hopefully, I think those are PS5 HDMI ports. I'm going to do a quick comparison because normally I label all of my ports.
I'd like to see you guys replace a single transistor from a Threadripper one day.
Ugh.
Why does it?
Do you mean like a capacitor on the back of the CPU?
I was about to say, no one is replacing a transistor on a CPU.
Yeah, because I was going to say
ever.
Yeah,
even if it was lithoed on 90mm.
Yeah.
Those appear to be HDMI ports.
Yeah, that's a PS5 HDMI port, so that's fine. Yeah.
One of them says F and the other one says HF.
Manufacturing markings.
That's the only difference I spotted.
Yeah. However, the important thing is by comparison, if I bring in this HDMI port, as you can see, it is of a completely different design.
What?
That's a Series X HDMI port.
Oh, it looked like it had 2 rows of pins.
Yeah, it's just a long boy. It's just extended out, and the anchors are in different places and stuff. So based on that, as you can see, these ones being so similar, that's definitely a PS5 HDMI port. So yeah. So yes, I'm certain that I've got the correct ports out the packet now.
Yes.
Typically, the moment I actually stocked up big time on HDMI ports, I just haven't had a lot of consoles in recently. Whereas for a while, I was getting in like at least one a week. Okay.
Excellent. Right. I realise now.
You realise now
that I should change scene again.
I see.
Again.
Yes.
To the other one.
Oh, were we not on the scope when I was showing the HDMI ports?
No.
I'm not showing the HDMI ports again. Thanks, Caradog. You are the best producer.
I at no point inferred that I was. Do you ever get no power PlayStation 5s? Or do you
I haven't encountered that myself. I'm not sure if I would take them on or not, because I'm not super interested in console diagnostics because I don't know the platforms very well. What I love about doing HDMI ports on consoles is I don't need to know anything about them. You don't need to know diagnostics to change your HDMI port.
You just need to diagnose that this port is broken.
Yes.
By the fact that it's the wrong shape.
Indeed. And a lot of them are completely munted, mate, when you see them.
Oh. Easy money. I mean, port replacement, kind of.
For port replacement, or for no power.
I was going to say no power, I have no idea.
Yeah.
I'd imagine that requires some degree of understanding of what the hell's going on.
Yeah. Although, at least for an Xbox, no power, 9 times out of 10 is going to be the power supply, which is an easy fix. So,
I see.
There we go. Is that bridged horribly on the top? I think I've caught the plastic slightly there. Yeah, that's fine. For the record, I don't pretend to be super tidy with my ports. But yeah.
To a degree, as long as it works.
Yeah. Like, I don't make a complete mess of it, but now and then I catch the plastic and I don't sweat that, you know. So, yeah. Okay. Right. Let's see if I can get this to drop in now. I think I'm going to want to heat this from below for the drop in. So, I might need to forego the microscope because there's just no room to lift the board up with the microscope.
I see.
I'm just preheating first just to see if I can just drop.
There's new AliExpress deals on from midnight tonight. Wonder if we'll get more CPUs for 17 pennies.
Maybe. I need more 7500Fs.
Would you like a 7800 X3D for £150? Oh yes, I'll take one of them. Thanks.
Damn,
AliExpress.
son, where'd you find this? Oh my days.
Blimmin' AliExpress randomly not.
Oh, I'm making a hash of it. I'm making a hash of it. I should have heated from below.
It's okay, no one can see. It's fine. No one can witness your crimes.
And I'm cooking my hand as well. Why is the port not heating up? I'm melting down. Figuratively and literally.
Oh, AliExpress.
What are you perceiving? Alright.
Custom Pikachu's workout shorts.
I see.
And I'm like, that's nothing to do with the Ryzen CPU that I searched for.
Oh my god. Oh god, I am out of practice on this. Oh, I'm going to scream. Nope, I'm going to have to lift the board and heat from below. And just for the sake of appeasing chat, I'm going to just stick a new port on because I've got another 4 of them. I've made a hash of it. I'm just doing it again and I'm going to heat from below.
Exactly. Totally nobody can tell. Nobody at all.
Right, let's try that again. And we're going to go for the hot air bidet.
Pikachu, what now? Yes. How much would you like to spend on your 7500F?
Don't know, what's the going rate?
Would you like to spend £104.71?
That's good. Yeah, anything below 110 I think is doing well.
Where's the price box? Give me the price box.
Right. I consider 115 to be the going rate. So once you get down to 110 or below, it's like, okay, now we're talking sales, you know, now we're saving money. I needed hecking flux.
More flux?
God. Rusty. I haven't done one of these for a couple of weeks now. Oh, no, longer than that, actually. It's been a few months since I've done a HDMI port replacement. I had it down to a point where I was just like, this is great. Now the YouTube section, comment section won't mock me because I'm making this look pretty slick. However, this is not looking pretty slick. This is looking like amateur hour. Okay, right. Can I make? I cannot make. You know, we're we're going to have a bit of a mega close-up here. In fact, I don't think I can make this work at all at this point, because to get my hot air station under the board, I just cannot fit it under the scope.
Yeah,
oh, wait,
you'd have to do it. You'd have to do it off the end of a desk.
Yeah, hold on. Yeah, what I'll do is, if I do that, then you can get this camera to just sort of point sideways, and that'll work, I think. So if you get that to point over here.
That's gone the wrong way.
Yeah. I'm going to move that to there. And everyone's going to see how much of a mess my desk is right now.
Right. Ah, yes, some connectors. Right. Bench cam. Oh, almost.
I need...
Zoom and enhance. Zoom.
I'm not set up for this at the moment. Oh, I should close the front door as well.
Oh.
Right. Right, testing. I can reach to about there. That will work.
You need some of that special smelling flux. What?
I need drugs. If I get high on the flux, then it will improve my skills. Right, is that the new one? No, that's the reject one. Okay.
Na 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 na. But yes, yeah. Hello, this is my metal fish CPU cooler. Some of these brand names, man.
Bam. Still got it. Still got it. All right. Okay, going back to scope.
Oh, hold on. Capture.
Just need to do a little bit of tidying up now. I shouldn't have touched those. I should have just done the bridge. Get out, bridge. Get out. There we go.
Yes, so using the coupons that are presently available, you can buy a single 7500F for £96.71.
Nice. I will take one of those then in that case.
I'm going to see if I can fandangle it so you can get two of them.
Yes. I have a second AliExpress account, if that helps.
Ah, hold on. Close the windows, close the windows, close the windows. Ah, yes.
Oh,
You're apparently limited to one per customer,
unsurprising.
even though it says you're limited to two per customer. When you add the second one to cart, it now says it's not deliverable to your address. They lie! Yes.
Yeah, if you could make a note of the coupon code, and I'll sign into my other account later on and get another one of those on order.
Yeah.
I take it I can't just place the order and then just place another order. Does that work?
It doesn't. It certainly doesn't appear so. Because
unfortunately.
I've looked at that, and no, when you go back to the item, it says you've ordered the maximum you're allowed to order.
Okay, yeah, they've gotten wise to that then, yeah. Alright, this has kind of got too much solder on it, but like that's fine. What's it going to do? Fall out? Alright.
What's it going to do? Fall out. Falls out on the floor. Fuck!
Shut! Okay, right. Alcohol wash, and then that is donezo.
Yes.
Where is my... Oh, it's around the front.
Where is my alcohol?
Yeah, I had it on the front desk so I could spritz customers with it.
Back, fiend! If I spray you once more, I'll strike a match in your vicinity.
Wow, okay. Where is toothbrush? There's a toothbrush, that'll do. Sploosh.
How did the office move go? Mostly okay. I was let down by contractors. But isn't that the running story of almost everything?
Okay, poke test. Nothing on 1, nothing on 2, nothing on 3, nothing on 4. Little click out of 5. Nothing on whatever pin we're up to now. I've done the bit. The joke is that this is what the lockpicking lawyer says. Okay, there we go.
Excellent.
All right, it's done.
Does your sticky buddy?
My sticky buddy gets into all the cracks. All right.
Sound like the dentist too.
Sound like the dentist? Yes. It's a dentist pick, so that would also be appropriate. Okay, right.
How are you going to redistribute the liquid metal?
I'm going to use a metal spatula is what I use. I've seen, what's that trick people use? Is it IPA on a cotton bud also works? I'm going to get this back over here as well. Because I've seen people, I think, yeah, I've seen people using, I think it's IPA on a cotton bud also works magic, but personally I just use the metal spatula. Swab with no IPA works best. Okay, yeah. I do not have any cotton swabs at the moment. I'm fresh out, so I'm going to be a scrub lord and do it with a metal spatula.
Oh! I don't know where the camera just went, but that's the wrong way. Come back.
I'll let you sort that out.
What? Oh, no. Okay. I thought it was rotated 90 degrees for a second there. It is not.
Yeah, this would be a lot easier with cotton swabs, but yeah, like I said, I'm fresh out and I keep forgetting to get more. Because when I need them on the bench in general, I'm just like, oh, just use kitchen towel. However, with a little bit of scraping and encouragement, a lot of it will just pick up onto the die again. It might look like I'm not achieving anything at the moment, but I am actually just slowly pushing a bunch of it up onto the die, and then I'll spread it. All right.
Yeah. Have you replaced liquid metal on anything yet?
Yeah, I've done it a couple of times. I've had to do it on a couple of mini PCs, and I've done it on I've done it on a couple of laptops as well. Usually with the PS5, it's not necessary to put new stuff on. You can just respread the existing stuff, and like, there we go. That's fine. Like it's a little bit ripply there, but you know that's fine. It's spread across the die, which is the important thing.
Yeah. Do you respread it on the other side?
Yes, I do. Yeah. But yeah, by and large, it hasn't seemed necessary. And both, like a couple of times where I've been in severe doubt that I did it properly, I've left the PS5 running under load for a couple of hours, and it's had no issues.
Does the fan have like a panic mode or something, which makes it obvious?
Yes, and when it's super upset, it will actually beep loudly and then shut off. So you'll know if there's a problem, I think most of the LM is on this side actually, but there we go, that'll do. No need to overthink it. All right. Let's turn that back around to that way. You can zoom out again now. Thank you.
Oh, yes. I had zoomed in for the other desk and then forgot.
Yeah. Liquid metal should have never been used in the first place. I agree. I don't think liquid metal should be used in production devices. Some people are just like, oh, but it's really good. I'm like, if you need liquid metal, your cooling solution isn't good enough. And like, let's face it, that's the only reason why they use liquid metal in any production products, is because they can't fit a big enough cooler in there. In which case, it's just like, redesign your product then, like anyone who knows anything about LM knows that it is problematic. And so when you and the PS5 is evidence of this. Every PS5 I've ever opened has had a massive dry spot in the middle where there's been pump out. It's just, it happens, man, So yeah. So yeah, I'll very much die on this hill. Back clamps first. It's not the first time I've worked on a PS5, forgotten to put these chaps back on, put all of the screws into this silver plate on top, and then spotted this on the desk and been like, oh no, I've got to take all of those wretched screws out again.
Help, I'm stuck in every warehouse. Are you everywhere?
Did you see the Gamers Nexus video about copyright strikes from Thing? Yes. Yeah, Gamers Nexus have got another copyright claim on their channel because...
How?
So, in their video about the 5090 Astral, they show Asus's marketing video for the 5090 Astral, where it's just like, space, the final frontier. This is the Astral video card, and there's some music playing in the background and stuff like that. They've been copyright claimed for the music in that promo video that they have played in their coverage of the release of it, which is blatantly a false claim because what they're doing is blatantly fair use, because they are reporting on someone's release and showing their marketing video. Gamers Nexus are not using the music themselves.
The fact that the marketing video didn't get an open license.
The marketing video itself is licensed to shoot
yeah, but
for
the
it,
fact they
but
didn't
Gamers
get
Nexus
effectively an
aren't,
open
sorry.
license.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So and the problem is because Gamers Nexus have just come off of the back of the Bloomberg fiasco.
Yeah.
Obviously, for them, getting a second copyright strike is really dangerous territory. So unfortunately, they've had to lawyer up over it, which kind of sucks because now they've got to pay thousands of dollars in lawyers' fees for a frivolous claim that they are clearly in the right on.
Yeah.
So yeah. And I just summarised in about 5 minutes what it took Steve to 30 minutes to explain. However, yeah, I hope that they get that sorted, and it sucks because, yeah, either way, yeah, it's bollocks. And once again, it's another example of YouTube's copyright system being broken and entirely abusable because there are no repercussions
for false claims.
Exactly. This needs to go back in the shell next. So yes. Putting that there for a sec. Whoop. What's the stream timer on?
1 hour 25.
Oh yeah, we're doing good. Cool. Good thing he has an electric screwdriver to take out all those screws. Yeah, the little electric screwdrivers don't have the grunt for these PS5 screws. They're all pretty vicious. Thank you.
Ah.
Which I think that's in. Good. Right, so now that goes in there.
Oh, that metal plate goes on there, right?
Yeah.
I was looking at it, it's like there's residue on there from something.
Yes. I always put the back plate on before I put it back in the chassis and forget, and then you have to put this guy in blind, which is annoying.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah.
Whoop.
It was an automatic DRM claim by a third-party monitoring company. What?
Well, however, after the initial claim was potentially automatic, because Steve did explain this in the video, in that he was just like, oh, this is probably an automatic system, which is annoying, but whatever.
Yeah.
However, when they wrote a letter saying, hey, it looks like we've been caught on an automatic thing, as you can see, this is clearly fair use, blah, 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 blah. And then the third party then said, no, we're still claiming this. That has to be a manual process. The automatic claim, so when you initially dispute it, it has to be a manual person to go, no, we're still claiming that. So they looked at Steve's video that was clearly news coverage showing a marketing release, which is obviously legitimate, and they still said, nah, we're still claiming it. So yeah, very much bollocks. Extreme bollocks.
Yeah. I think the thing that I find most ridiculous and bizarre is the fact that based off of us, when we've streamed things like Heaven and so on, it pops up in the YouTube panel for that video.
I could copyright
that you can
claim.
copyright strike other people's videos that have displayed Heaven.
I can copyright
even though
claim.
you don't own the copyright.
Yeah. I can copyright claim so many people who have ever put Heaven footage on YouTube right now, and I'm like, what?
Yeah.
This isn't even my content.
Yeah.
It's just wild. I don't understand how somehow the Content ID system has decreed that I own Heaven now. Or, oh no, it wasn't Heaven, I don't think. I think it was 3D Mark. No, it's Heaven as well. Also just 3D Mark 2001, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, wild. Heaven had copyright claims a while ago. Yeah, absolutely nuts. Absolutely nuts. Yeah. Yeah. Just for posterity, just because it comes up, I will never do anything with that for obvious reasons.
Legitimately, you can't.
Yeah. But also, the only time I ever do copyright claims is very occasionally if I'm in the YouTube studio and I just have a look over at that tab because I'm like, oh wait, what's in here? Oh, it's the copyright section. Very occasionally, I will see someone who has downloaded one of my videos and just re-uploaded it to their channel whole cloth. Just ripped and re-uploaded. And at that point, I'm just like, yeah, claim. Go away. This is my video. It's on my channel. I will claim that stuff. And hypothetically, if anyone is ever doing that because they want to dub my videos or something like that, reach out to me and we'll sort something out. Because if someone was doing that because they wanted to translate my videos, then you know what? I'm sure we could come to some kind of arrangement on that.
Yeah.
However, If you're just ripping my videos whole cloth, that's a hard no. So yeah.
Wait for the strike from Sony for Graham showing the inner workings of a PlayStation 5.
Well, this is
That's
how...
why you don't repair Nintendo devices.
Yeah. Well,
because no one should be buying them.
Who was the chap that got done? Who got into hot water with the amplifier people? Forgotten his name.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then Lewis Rossman jumped into the ring for him because that's basically what happened to him.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were just like, you can't show the inside of our amplifier or how to fix it.
Yeah, it's just like,
Mend it, Mark. Yeah, that was it. Yeah.
It's just like, well, actually, I can.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm subscribed to Mend It Mark now. I haven't been watching all of his videos that come out because it just sometimes they come out when I'm just not in the mood for that kind of content. But his content's fantastic. He's such a cool, chill dude.
What do they repair? Is it like
mainly audio equipment. So amplifiers and AV decks kind of thing.
That's cool.
But yeah, so it's not really my wheelhouse per se. But yeah, extremely chill guy, and just very very chill editing, and just very wholesome stuff, extremely wholesome. So yeah, highly recommended. And like some of the jobs he's done have been just fantastic as well. Like
he's Welsh, or at least is now in Wales, should I say?
Yes.
Interesting. Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, but but that's what's happened to him, and give him a follow because excellent stuff. Very cool.
Yeah. I'd like to be more aware of bigger UK YouTube channels. By bigger, I mean, actually have subscribers, actually have content. Not just, I uploaded a video once, me.
Yeah.
Just because, like, there was that laptop review channel that's apparently based in the UK, and I'm like, cool, how do I not know about that, given that I'm in the UK, interested in laptops, and also on YouTube, technically.
Yeah.
Like, how do I not know this? How is this not content I'm aware of existing?
Yeah, I do kind of feel that because I'm subscribed to the big YouTube tech channels because I just generally like their content, but YouTube doesn't really recommend a lot of other tech channels to me per se. But then because like now and then I do click on enough reviews when I'm looking for hard numbers that you would imagine it would want to throw up like just other channels. And I think the YouTube algorithm is reasonably okay with promoting smaller channels at the moment, which I think is a bit of a hot take, and a lot of small channels will feel very hard done by. But like, my channel is doing remarkably well right now considering my upload schedule is down the pan. Like, considering I'm uploading once every 2 weeks at best, my revenue is been slowly rising recently, and YouTube has been pushing my back catalogue. So like, I feel like
oh no,
I feel like we've come out of a slump.
Apparently, my battery status is ?
Oh, okay. I thought you were just suddenly loading up the analytics and being like, no, actually, you've been on a steady decline for the past 6 months.
You've been a steady decline for the past 20 years. Oh.
Yeah. Am I watching Parts People? No, I don't watch Parts People. I don't watch a lot of technical repair, I have to admit. I think most of the repair that I'm interested in watching is stuff that's outside of my lane. Like, I want to watch more Mend It Mark because I want to learn more about fixing amplifiers and that kind of thing. Because now and then people do ask me about an amplifier, and I'm like, I don't know audio.
Yeah, you've had 200,000 views in the past 28 days. Which isn't bad.
Yeah, like I really need to get the upload schedule up and capitalize on that momentum. I always forget where all of the screws go on this back plate because some of them are for the fan. Parts People is a top tech. Oh yeah, real. Yeah, I've heard nothing but good things about them. Do, 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 do. 200,000 under the corner. Yeah, we're slowly getting there. What's the subscriber count up to?
You are currently on... No, that's incorrect. You are not on 1,000 subscribers. Studio, please. Give me the actual total number. What's the total number? Just... Oh. Apparently your subscriber data is inaccurate because of data errors in 2013.
Oh, there's always some data missing. Yeah.
195,703.
195. Okay, yeah, it's still slowly creeping up. So yeah, still slowly on the road to 200,000.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, it's been a long time coming. I feel like the channel has settled out.
Yes.
But there is still slow growth then, which is nice.
Yes. It appears that your monthly audience is slowly decreasing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because it was 99,000 and is now 88,000.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like more videos.
More videos needed. Yeah.
Yes.
Right. I've got one more screw left. I'm just going to quickly overlay this to check if I put any screws in the wrong place.
Apparently most people watch your videos between 6 and 9 p.m. GMT.
Fair enough. Evening watchers.
And that's consistent on every day of the week other than Thursday, where they're weighted slightly more towards 4 p.m. to 9 p.m.
This is fine. It's always interesting when YouTubers look at their common watch times and find that they're all like between 11 p.m. and 2 a.m. kind of thing. It's like, I see. So people are just falling asleep to my videos, you know?
Yeah. Apparently, apparently Canada has shuffled up your watch history. They are now 3.4% of your audience.
Ah, hello Canada.
India is 3.3%. Germany, Netherlands, Philippines, Sweden, South Africa. South Africa is an entire 1.2. JD is 1.2% of your audience.
There are dozens of us. Dozens. One more screw.
To be fair, you have the voice for that.
Oh, what, the voice to fall asleep to? Yeah, well, I'll take that as a compliment. Okay, right. It's taken me 10,000 days, but I've finally put all of the screws in.
Hey, you're only an hour and 40 minutes into the stream.
Yeah. If we're lucky, it'll work.
Did it work beforehand?
No. I mean, it might if you, like, jiggle the cable or something like that, but, yeah, apparently it was not reliable.
The US is 20.1% of your audience. So, yes.
Very well.
Oh, you can get the geography by video?
Oh, I've messed up all these screws and I don't know where anything goes. I think that one's a machine screw.
Apparently more Americans watch your shorts than anything else. And then Ethiopia.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of a lot of these countries, they're turning to YouTube for education and knowledge.
Yeah, but it's just the fact of it's like most watched USA, UK, Canada, Ethiopia.
Yeah.
And it's just like it's kind of population comments,
Yeah.
language comments.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
okay.
Like, certainly when you start factoring in, okay, well, I mean, really, what about, like, Germany and France and stuff like that?
Apparently there are fewer people in Germany and France watching your videos than there are in Ethiopia.
Yeah. It's like, all right, well, Brexit was a success, I guess. Brexit, you know, get rid of that lot. Yeah.
Fucking...
Get the job done. I love you, Europe. It's you know, I love everything about you. You know, just the euro and just and stuff. I don't know where I'm going with this gag. Anyway,
Please stop. Please stop. Wherever you think you're going, you haven't arrived. And your train of thought has actually been replaced by a bus replacement service.
that only leaves every 35 frames. Fan. Okay. This is the point where, because I haven't put any... Normally when I'm taking stuff apart, I lay it out in order, and I didn't do that with this, so now I have to remember where everything goes and what order it goes back in. You never use the euro.
The neuro.
Yeah, we dodged that bullet, yeah. Yeah, on that note, actually, is the UK getting the free extended support in the same way that Europe is on Windows 10?
I don't know, because I've not looked. Because I don't care. Because Windows 10 is dead.
All right, then, keep your secrets.
Brexit means... wait, wrong one. Strong and... No, wait, hold on.
Ba, 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 ba. No.
Last time I saw you, you were the spare part laid on the desk.
I see. I'm sure one of these is a short boy. But that doesn't...
Somehow
feel like it
UK
needs to
still
go
counts
in.
as EU for some reason. Yes.
So is the answer is yes, it is. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's fair.
I mean, we're still part of SEPA.
What the heck is SEPA?
Single European Payment Alliance something? I can't remember. It basically means there's no interbank currency conversion fees.
Oh, neat.
So yes.
Right. Are you a machine screw? Oh.
Are you a machine screw?
Yeah, there's... Nope, that's wrong. It's a short boy. Yeah, there's different length screws here, but also there are plastic self-tappers and machine screws that go into metal. So you can tell if it needs a machine screw by if it's going into metal. So, yeah.
Yeah.
You cannot create a Windows 10 account didn't understand that one, Greg. Nope. But yes. UK laptop review, isn't that Kit Guru? Ah, was it Kit Guru?
I don't know.
Yeah, Kit Guru are, I forget, yeah. When did they add a chat box to full screen YouTube videos? About time. Oh, that's neat. That's good to know.
Oh yeah, YouTube's got a new redesign.
Yeah, the player has been updated. So yes, I have no strong feelings about it. I'm just like, okay, it's slightly different than how it was before. Fine. But if
I have feelings about it only because it seems to have made the theatre mode button laggy
oh, that's a bit
on
weird.
one computer for me. And I'm
Yeah.
like, I don't understand, how can a button be laggy?
Nope. That's machine. That's machine.
Are you a machine?
You a clanker. Sleepwalker, did I see the Microsoft exploding Game Pass prices? Yeah, we talked about this at the start of the stream, so I won't go over it again, but in short, it appears that Xbox is cooked. And I have no idea what the hell Microsoft think they're doing. or the Microsoft Games division. And Phil Spencer has burnt through all of the possible goodwill he possibly had at this point, I believe. And most people are just like, whatever you thought you were doing, you have failed to achieve it.
Yeah. I find it very odd, but hey.
Yes. Phil Spencer. It is Phil Spencer who's in charge of the Microsoft Xbox and gaming division, isn't it? Or he's in charge of Microsoft Gaming, I think.
Phil Spencer is someone who works at Microsoft.
Yeah, yeah.
Their title is unknown.
Yeah.
Because there is some lady person who took over all of his responsibilities last year.
Oh, okay. So Phil Spencer might not be a thing anymore.
He still works for Microsoft and still has a title. But I don't know what his title is, and I certainly don't know what he's doing.
Yeah, maybe he got troned and they put him on the game grid and he's just co-pilot now. He has become the
Put him on
Xbox. That one there. I've nearly done it, chat. I have nearly found where all the screws go.
Good.
All right, I've got one left. Who is missing a screw? I've got a screw but no hole. Okay, we'll come back to that in a sec. It's probably on the back.
I have a screw but no hole, and I must scream.
Yeah. Should probably test it before I commit to putting literally everything back in, but no, seriously, where does that screw go?
I don't know. Oh, I only took it apart.
Oh, is there a secret one under here that I missed? No. All the holes are filled. Oh, I tell you where it goes. It goes on the silver plate at the back. Okay, I'm going to level with you guys. I'm not putting that screw in. That goes over there now. I could lie and say I'm going to do it off camera, or I could just tell you the truth and say I'm not putting that screw in. Now you have to take the plastic off again. I say, staring dead into the camera as I continue to assemble the PlayStation.
The Fat Controller laughed.
You are wrong. To the scrap with you. Okay, right.
Those books are wildly dystopian and
They surely are.
slightly body horror-ish.
We can go to face cam now.
Face cam.
Clonk.
Check the 45 degrees middle one.
Check the 45 degrees ones in the middle. Well, it's none of those. I know exactly where it is. It's, yeah, it is, it goes down there, from the silver plate into the body. So yeah, and yes, because I'm fairly certain I didn't put that one back in. And now I never will. It's not like it's going to fall apart. You all saw how many of those goddamn silver screws there are.
Every now and then I fall apart.
Cool. Okay, I'm going to
Nice
find
sticky
a
body.
power cable. I need a figure of 8. Which apparently I don't have down there, and I should do. I must have stolen it at some point. What's you? Nope. Ah. I have it. Oh no. I have a 1 meter figure of 8 cable. Right, you're getting unplugged. And I will unplug the
Monitor.
scope. And I will plug in the long HDMI, which is already there. Please plug in. There we go. Good grief.
Don't force it, otherwise you'll have to do another HDMI port replacement. Why can't I handle all these HDMIs?
Okay.
In.
1, 2. Okay. This might show customer data, so yeah, leave it on face cam for now. And then if it comes up with a generic screen, then we can go, look, it works. Your move, Kaiba. Someone in the chat will get that. Oh yes, good. Right, after repair is complete, your PS5 will automatically restart. Okay, it's repairing console storage. It's at potato resolution at the moment. However, it does that during repair. Hopefully it will switch to 1080p now. If I've buggered the EDID, I will be extremely upset. I think. Your PS5, there we go, yeah, you can just capture that.
Ha! Apparently I can't.
HDCP, I expect. Oh, no, there we go. Yeah. I think HDCP doesn't kick in until you actually try and launch a game. Cool. Yeah, no, that's HDCP. Yeah.
Oh well.
It's content protection. So, however, you saw it briefly. It works, and we're at the correct resolution as well. So, huzzah! There we go. 1080p states, "Oops, one screw missing." No. Good.
Actually, it's now 1079p.
Oh, imagine. Does PS5 auto update? Yes.
Do you have a controller?
No.
How do you turn it off properly then?
I hold down the power button.
Oh, I see, okay.
And that seems to do a graceful shutdown. Oh, that's the eject.
I would like to eject the power, please. Preparing to turn off your PS5.
Yeah, so you do a long press on it, it beeps twice, and then it shuts down. So, there we go. Cool. Don't forget the base. Oh yeah, stick it back on the base. The buttery biscuit base.
Maybe.
All broken image links on the merch page, or just me? Can anyone else confirm? Alright. HDCP disable in settings. You can do that, but then you can't play any games. So, yeah, not really. Okay, and yeah, we're coming up to the 2-hour marker. So I would find something else to do at this point because I've got other bits and pieces to do. However, I need to have some food and then drive 70 miles tonight. So yeah, that's a thing.
Oh no, all of your merch pictures are hosted on Imgur.
Oh God. Imagine if Fourth Wall actually did that. I'd be so mad. Okay. There we go. And keep that vertical so all of the liquid metal can pump out again. Good. All right. It's just going to be sad it's powered off improperly. That doesn't count as an improper power off. It does actually shut down, so it's fine. So yes. Where are you off to? I'm not going to say specifically because I'm not going to say specifically where all my family lives. However, it's 70 miles away from me. So
my house.
In the middle of my house. My house. Good.
Good.
Right. Right, 70 is an hour. I drove 350. Weird flex, but okay. Right, thank you everyone for tuning in. We're going to wrap up early today. Thanks, Studio, for showing where we were an hour ago, but whatever. Yeah, we're going to wrap up early today because I've got places to be, and also I'm very tired. It has been a stressful week with everyone wanting to upgrade at the same time, having left it to the last minute. But
I have
whatever.
places to go, people to see.
Yes. We will, let's see. Yeah, we'll be back next week. I don't think, I've got nothing planned. Hopefully next weekend I'll have a weekend to myself.
Excellent.
So, yeah.
Very good.
So, yeah, see you all next week, I guess, with something else.
Okay.
Toodaloo, everyone.
Goodbye.
Upgrade to
Thanks for
Windows
being
11.
here.
Lol.
Bye. Damn it.
Oh my god! Live stream, verify that it's you. Are we still live? Who knows?
Oh, thanks, GDA.
Where's my... Okay, I've got my phone next to me. It's fine.
Please unlock your phone. Please verify.
I have verified.
Excellent.
Forever live, yeah. There we go. Hey.